That's kind of weird. It seems darker than normal. I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out. I even turned on this other lamp. So it seems really dark. I don't know. Everything is still weird. So that hasn't changed at all. It just gets weirder. Each day, just things get weirder. And now I have a Lion King stuck in my head. The other day, I had that song, They're Not Like Us, stuck in my head. It's like over and over and over and over and over. Now it's Lion King. It's like so many videos. And when it gets like this, when well, I'm at TikTok. So when TikTok gets flooded, that it's just like, oh my God, it's too much. I swear to God. And it is like, the energy just gets weirder. Like it is, like you can see the different ways that people look at the things and stuff. One thing that got brought up, and that had me thinking again about this too, was so on this Nepo baby thing, they just keep talking about it and talking about it. And there's some people now, and I don't know if these are fake videos because this happens. It happened with some other show drama thing that happened, and people started putting out these fake videos pretending that they were there, telling what happened. So I don't know if these are that. Is the stories kind of match? One of them, the ones I've seen, one of them is a parent of somebody who was auditioning, and the other one is somebody who worked in the casting but didn't have an important role. They're just more like organizing things. And they said that it was down to like five contestants, and it was down to 3 or something. So they had been going through months of auditions and had been going from how many ever people had tried out, which right now there's like 10 productions of Lion King going on. There's a whole bunch of kids who have done this show, do this show, like there's kids who are theater kids. Like they've been theater kids since they were little. And to just come in and pay your daughter's way like this, of course, is going to blow up. And man, it's so like wheezy. And we're still in the fucking whatever the fucking bullshit weather we're in. We're under a thick cloud cover of all these weird stormy looking clouds. We're just like, what the fuck? It seemed like yesterday, like later in the afternoon, maybe the sun broke through some of the clouds or something. For a while, it seemed like it was hotter. Like it seemed like it was warmer outside. Probably because of the humidity or something. I don't know. It's just some bullshit. But it really fucks with my allergies. And like when you breathe in so much fucking infiltrates and stuff. And this is what really got me going to this morning, was this video that I had seen that I wanted to talk about with the parasite thing. But so anyways, the Nepo baby thing. So they're saying that the story is that, so they're down to the last few kids and they're supposed to make their choice. And so these kids are in doing their last performance audition thing in front of the people, the casting people. And the people who were in the kids that were doing it, there was rumors that there was some rich person, like there was a celebrity kid that was going to come and audition or something. So they came in at the last minute like this, and she said, and in walks, both of these people said, in walks Kim and Northwest, and she didn't do an audition. She paid. She gave him money. And then the guy, apparently he said, no, you have to audition or something. There was some kind of thing. And so she paid more. So I don't know. But it's all this stuff is, there is like a wheeze. Wait. I gotta drink more tea. But there is, so she, but all this stuff is to get us to question our morals, question, because we've been in such a dark place that you have to turn that part of you on inside of you. You know, like I had talked about before, like sometimes I feel like I'm repeating myself, but there's a lot of people who haven't seen it because there's like, I mean, this is like 4 years. Well, it's 3.5 years right now. But by the end of this year, it'll be 4 years of videos. And so some of the stuff, like I know I repeat it, but sometimes I know some of the people don't see it all the time. And what was I about to repeat on this? The wasn't the Nepo baby thing. It was I don't know. It was important. I guess it'll come back. Um, but so did I finish about the Nepo baby thing? Like all, oh yeah, because it's supposed to be questioning the morals because we've all been in the dark. There's been so much darkness around us. And oh yeah, okay. So the thing that used to get me, it was like when I very first started, coming into this conscious state that we're all going into or whatever, because I was already spiritual. So it's a different state of consciousness. And so when I just remember realizing like that there was people who didn't kill people because the Bible told them not to. And that just freaked me out because I was like, oh my God. So they just don't kill because the Bible told them? What the fuck if the Bible didn't tell them? Like, what? I believe maybe that's like with the Rockefeller. Well, we better get a book in there telling them. Like, they'll just kill each other. They'll all be gone real quick. Guys, especially when souls don't have any idea what the fuck they're doing. Because just think about this. This just gets me, because the flesh and blood and stuff like that. But just think if from the very beginning, if we were told the truth, if we were told, we're eternal, you're like a hologram, you have way more abilities, you can move around. Like I see it like angel training or something. Like it would have been so different. But now we're trying to break free from this programming, this flesh and blood, and all, man, it just is so crazy of how manipulative and how many lies and stuff. But that whole thing about needing a book to tell you not to hurt somebody else, that's an internal, that's an imprint on your soul. Like that's something that you know on the inside. And you know it on the inside because you've done it before and you've suffered for it. There's no getting away from your suffering. Jesus can't take away your pain. God can't just take away how you feel about yourself. So when you've done these things and you've faced yourself, because that is what the life review, you go through the life, you do it, you go in and you face yourself. You see yourself in a new perspective through the other's eyes. You get a full way of seeing. And so it makes the experience have meaning, have context. And so you have, and through these life exchanges, these life reviews, you learn and it becomes imprinted into your soul. It becomes a part of you. It's like imprinted in your DNA and some of the codes. So all of the different things that you have lived are inside of you. It's a coded part of you. And so I don't know. It even is kind of weird is that it kind of takes away oh, you don't need to worry about that. The book says. It's like, no, you need to worry about it on the inside. And not about what the fucking book says. Like it's a fucking book. Like it is what does it say on the inside? Inside of you. And if it's, says kill, 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 like I don't know, you're here for a different purpose. Go listen to your dark gods and be led. But it is, no matter what, you're still gonna have to face yourself. Maybe this is when you're here to learn not to kill, kill, kill. But, most of us have been through life after life after life after life. I don't think there's a bunch of new souls here trying to ascend. I think this is like some old battered souls that are like, come on, I played this game a lot of times. I'm getting through this. And so it's knowledgeable ancient beings here that are working towards this ascension. And to me, how I always see it is this coming into your own. Is you not just being in life and connecting to your higher self, but to become like walking hand in hand with your higher self. It's like you don't become your higher self. You become like a mirror to your higher self or something. You become a part. Like it is it's like a birth. It's like your higher self gives birth to another sense of self, is how I see it. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but that's what I see. Like, this is some sort of a birthing process for the universe. And, but you have to be at a certain level. And no matter what level you're at, all levels are moving up. So, whatever level, like, not everybody's here for all the spiritual stuff, but the people who are here, for ascension and stuff, yeah, I see them as like old, like they know not to hurt other people and stuff. And then as all this is happening, they have more things remembering inside of them, more rememberings coming online, your memories turning themselves back on. But see, these triggers are the things that help you to define yourself. And so all these things happening, that is the awakening. Is the awakening to your soul, the awakening to your sense of self, the awakening to your moral compass, the awakening to self-preservation, self-identity, how you feel about things. And what was getting me too, because I had seen some people talking about this situation and comparing it to the other little girl that sang at the baseball game in her big fancy dress and her fancy hair, like she was, singing her heart out. It was like real overdone, and so many people were making fun of her. And that one, I was seeing so many videos making fun of her that, what triggered in me was like, oh my God, this is a child. Like, this is a little kid who is, I mean, she wasn't getting paid for this or anything. She was, I don't know. There's also some sort of thing about, her dad's connections or something. But I don't know. Like, singing the fucking, what is the thing called? The anthem or something? The Star Spangled, whatever the fucking song is they sing before the baseball games. Like, is it really that fucking serious? It's a goddamn song. Like, how fucking serious you can make this shit? Like, to me, on that, it's like, you know, uh, big deal. And plus, she was taking it serious. She wasn't fucking around. She didn't come in her pajamas. She came all serious about it. And she was going to town on it. And then people were just going so hard on her. And it was, I thought that was super sad. And on this one, people, it seems like they're is not going as hard on her, although there seems to be that there is some people are going hard on Northwest, because then there's people doing these compensation videos. Well, she wasn't that bad. Come on, guys. So there must be, but I'm not in that, like, this is just stuff that pops up to me. I'm not going and searching it. And so the things I see are the things that, I see. And so she, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that was weird. That was like attack on the inside. Oh, that was weird feeling. Okay. And I'll tell you another, let's real quick little weird story. So there's a video going around. I'll share it in here too. Is this guy talking about when he was in kindergarten. So he's 6 years old. I would say he's probably like, I don't know, 35 to 40 now. And so he's telling this story that when his teacher came to, he could be older, I don't know, but it seems like that's the age. And it was like a podcast or something. But this guy said, so he went to school and his teacher was sitting in the middle, and it was, I think, a St. Patrick's Day thing. And the students were sitting in a circle around her. And so then she for their St. Patrick's thing. So she pulls out a leprechaun. He said it was about a foot tall. And he pulls out a leprechaun, sits the guy on her knee, and the leprechaun looks around at the kids, jumps down and takes off running. And he said, he's saying that happened. And, that it was really weird and stuff. But anyways, that is just a little video thing. So I think, I don't know. I just know the supernatural world's real. And, or the world they tell us is supernatural, that it's really there. And it has to do with vibration, and it has to do with, certain areas could have more activity because of the vibration. But then you could have 10 people go into that area and all feel that vibration differently depending on their vibration. So it's, your vibration and your frequency has to do with everything. Hey, Stella. No, ma'am. Nope. Stella. She's doing so much better. This is the first time I've seen her try and go down there. And I haven't got to see, but she's been doing the antibiotics and the horse space. And it is, it's like all her cysts go away and stuff. And yesterday she was out like just going, running, jumping, running in here, running around, jumped up on the couch. And we went out for a walk. She drags me into the forest. She's dragging me down different little trails and stuff. She just was going to town, man. And so she's feeling so much better. And I was doing the antibiotic. Now I'm just really stuck on, man, do I keep doing the antibiotic? Do you trust what they say? That the bugs, if you don't kill them, they can come. But I'm taking this other stuff that is killing them. So, and then it's like, I don't want to overdo that stuff because in your body also has to work. But it did help give it an extra kick. But I got to look down there and see what it's looking like down there. It was still looking red and inflamed and stuff. And to me, it looks so much better. And she seems to be feeling so much better. She looks so much better with her skin and everything. So I'm going to keep continuing on the horse face thing. And the video I had just seen, though, was this, I think the person's name is Dr. Miller. So some kind of, if it's a podcast or something, and now people are sharing this video. And I'll share it in here. I saw 2 parts. So, and she's just saying the same thing that I have been saying because I've already seen other doctors saying it. But all of the stuff that they tell us is the C word or the, T word with the more at the end. So all of those things are really, bugs. And she goes through and says more stuff. She says that way back, that it used to be that you were supposed to look at the blood and that's where you would see all this stuff. And so they stopped doing that. They just started telling doctors, oh, you don't need to do that. Just send it to the lab. And the lab just puts things in machines and stuff. I worked in the lab. And you don't have, the only time that they really look under there is only for certain things. Not all the blood comes in. It just goes into machines. And the machines have parameters and stuff and what they're looking for. They're not just looking for everything. And so it's trying to pick up on certain things. And these machines are fucking expensive. It's all part of the fucking scam. And then these people have to go to school, learn how to run these machines and shit. It's like the lab techs and stuff. And we've all, if you're in medical and stuff, you've had to look in the microscope and identify things and everything. And they should be doing that. They should be like what she said. If you see stuff alive in the blood, that is stuff that shouldn't be in there. And that is the stuff that we've got to keep killing. And she was talking about some more things, like if it was a diseased person, some other doctors and different things and stuff, and how this is more known than what they're saying. Like they know this stuff, but they're not telling us. And that even the diagnosis of the M and then the S, that is in autopsy, 100% of them were the bugs. That was what was wrong with people. And so, and it's where they go. See, that is what I have been talking about, is where they can go in your body and travel around. And so when they go into certain places, that's when you get a diagnosis that has an M and then an M. And then the other ones, you get a diagnosis of a C, A, N, C. Other ones, you get a diagnosis of a T, U, M. And so but it's all these certain microscopic parasites. And so there's just this little handy stuff that, it's crazy too. Like, we have to go get stuff that is for animals. Like, I know we're animals, and, just because we put on clothes and talk, and they taught us how to talk. They taught us how to use their language, is taught us how to write, taught us a lot of stuff so that we could learn their lies. And when we're animals and stuff, but it's kind of crazy where they'll give those other animals stuff to keep them, from being overrun. But to us, they act like that we're a bunch of fucking maniacs or something. And so, but they make a lot of money off of us, you know. And think about, oh, well, I don't know, maybe it is. I don't really know for sure. But, like, why is it we have to keep giving it horse and goat? That's what I've given so far. Like, what about, like, the dog ones, the cat ones and stuff? And this lady is saying if you have dogs, just figure you 100% you have those things, little critters. And she said probably if you have cats. I would have thought definitely cats, but she said dogs for sure, cats probably. Oh, well, I mean, there's even other ones that they've come out, like with these killer parasites that you can get from cats. So I don't remember what it's called. It was something that they found that, especially women who were changing litter boxes. When it went down, that's what it was, what they found, was women who were changing litter boxes when they were pregnant. They were getting something, I don't remember, it seemed like it was toxio, like one of these really long words, and some kind of parasite. It seemed like it would kill the baby. And I don't remember if it would make the mom really sick or whatever, but all these things. As what I have said, this is what's really going to get people so mad when they start really seeing, is all of the sickness that was created and where people have had people die from the sicknesses. That is where people are going to, they're going to have to relive. It's like relive the pain of loss again with that whole thing, woulda, shoulda, coulda. But you got to really wrap your head around the fact that everything happens for a reason. Just like even right now, like where I see these people who are dying and all this stuff going on, you're like, oh, just do a parasite club, run in, do this, do that, take some fucking copper water, and it's like, no, this is how it's supposed to go down. This is how it's supposed to play out. If that information would come to them if that's what it was supposed to be. And I'm not the carrier of all the information. And I think me seeing this stuff and this stuff is for me to learn to let go and let live, let die, let life happen. Don't try and take on everybody else's lives and lifetimes and life challenges. We can't save the world. There's something inside of us that clicks on to save ourselves. And then the information starts coming to us. And, there's so much about signs and paying attention and just getting into the game in that kind of way of, reading the signs and paying attention. And, to me, there's like just the whole thing, because you have communication. So, like you're talking to them and stuff all the time. So signs to me seem obvious a lot of times, but a lot of times I miss them. But when you miss them, you're supposed to miss them too. It's part of, like, it was always going to happen that way. There is no woulda, shoulda, coulda. And you can play that out both ways. So even when something really good happens, you can be like, oh my God, what if this? Oh my God, what if I got a wreck that day? Oh my God, what if I would have died? What if, you can just keep going and going and going. And, but that's not how things were going to play out, or they would have played out that way. And you weren't supposed to know something before you knew it. You're supposed to know it once you know it. And then you have those other things to look back and to understand yourself. Like, how did I miss this? How did I miss that? Why? Why did I make that choice? Why did I go in that direction? And it's so weird too, because the things that come out and are like highlighted to you, the other stuff doesn't matter. What is highlighted to you is the stuff you're supposed to learn. And there's so much. And what's so crazy is like we all have different things. Like we have different things that stand out to us. And it's all for our own benefit. It isn't because, oh, well, we caught on or something. No, it's all, life is really happening for you. Your life is happening for you. And well, this was one of those what's her name? Dolores Cannon videos. And it was something about the non-player people thing. And I don't remember what she called them in this, but she was saying something. I didn't listen to the whole thing. But to me, this is what you got to realize is all the people who you think are just non-players in your game, that doesn't mean they're not playing their own game. Like, I don't understand why people think because this person has nothing to do with my game, they don't exist. They're not real. Well, if you were inside of them playing their game, you would see that they are real. So I just think that's weird to go and think like that there is like people who don't matter. Like I don't think that's true. I think everybody is playing their own game, and that I think is a part of the awakening and the part of there's a lot of lessons to learn. Like about control, about letting go, about there's just so much. I just saw this girl and she was doing this video, and she's always doing all nature stuff, and she's real Mother Earthy and always going out in the forest, and she's always talking really calm and deep and stuff like that. And so I'm not sure, this video, it was so she was saying, because this stuff is coming up in a lot of people. There's another video I saw too. So she was saying, and this is stuff that I have been talking about. And so she said that she was seeing somebody, she went celibate, and then they ended up dying. So, but she has been raising her kids for like 13 years on her own. She's a chef in a restaurant. She's the head chef. And so she's the boss over all these different guys. And she's talking about there's a lot of sexual tension. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the kitchen. And most people, that is not their goal, isn't to work in a kitchen their whole life. They have goals of being singers and dancers and all this kind of stuff. They have bands and stuff. So that she has to boss them around and stuff. And she has been raising her kids, like working all the time and having to raise her kids on her own. And so now she's like, she doesn't see how she could even get back into being in a relationship. Like she doesn't even know how to be with the guy without ordering him around. And she said that, she's really, really deep in her masculine energy. She's had to work so much. But what is so weird is because she'll go out into the forest, and then you think of her as like this mother nature. She goes and gets in touch with her feminine side and goes in this really calm and, and not intense, bossing people around, which I don't know how much she lives in her masculine. This is the first time I've ever seen her say this stuff. She's always just out when I see her, she's out in the forest, just like, oh, and here we are, And so, so she was talking about this, and this is the stuff I talk about so much, is about having to find this balance and about your lessons. And that this is, to help you to go further into this other side of yourself. And all these other challenges are pushing, but they're all lessons. Like when you start approaching things through a different lens, then you start having a different outcome. Just like what I was saying yesterday about the girl who was like, I imagine myself as tall and thin and walking around, and how she pictures herself. And then she said she goes, looks in the mirror, and she's shorter and much bigger and broader and stuff. But see, it's you. It's your identifying yourself that way. And you're comparing yourself to somebody else, maybe comparing yourself to this image, this fantasy image. I think that you should have an image of yourself that you feel good about yourself. You shouldn't be walking around thinking, oh my God, I'm Quasimodo, Jesus Christ. No, you should be thinking like, fuck yeah, I look good. I'm a fucking goddess. I'm going, and feel good about yourself, because then you're going to be putting out that energy of feeling good about yourself. So even if you're tricking yourself, telling yourself you feel good, you should still be telling yourself you feel good. Not be like, oh my God, I look horrible. Everybody's looking at me. Everybody's noticing my fat legs. Everybody's noticing my wide shoulders. Oh my God, I'm so ugly. That's not how you should be going around. And then when you can realize like, oh, I think I have wide shoulders because I'm comparing them to this girl's shoulders. Because where do you come up with this wide shoulder thing? Unless you are comparing yourself to somebody else. So if you got some girls with some wider shoulders or some bigger linebacker girls or whatever, then you could be next to them and go like, dang, my shoulders aren't that big. It's all relative. It isn't, but it's how you see yourself. And when you start seeing yourself as not being focused on my giant linebacker shoulders, all of a sudden your shoulders just become smaller. And it's in your mind. It may, to other people, but it won't even look like you have big shoulders unless to them you have big shoulders. Doesn't mean to every single person you have big shoulders. So, and then it is how much are you going to focus on it and give that all your energy? Oh, my big damn shoulders. Oh my God, I'm so hideous with my big damn shoulders. And we all do that. I'm not saying like, this person's weak ass bitch. I'm saying like we all do that kind of stuff. I did it all the time. Jesus Christ, I went and got fucking surgery to change my body. That too is it's wild too, because I felt so insecure, when everybody started developing and I just kept staying the same. And then when I drew all the time, I was like always drawing as from the time I was a kid. I started doing art, and I would draw myself and I would always have boobs. And so I was like, that's so weird. It's like I manifested them. But then it became where it wasn't, there's always that, this isn't what I wanted. There's too many down things. This isn't, you think of it as just looking better, but no, there's things like you're carrying this heavy bag of rocks around in your chest. And like it's very uncomfortable. It's, and then the pulling on your shoulders and your neck and everything. Like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of things. And not being able to fit in the clothes. Like yesterday, I was going through drawers again. I forgot so many different things and trying them on and seeing if they still fit. And wow, it's crazy how many things don't fit, especially when I can put them on and then remember how they used to fit. And then it's just like, I don't know, it's weird. And so what was I going to say? But anyways, it was like, then I manifested to go back to, like, I started like buying things that were, like I would try something, like it would be more of like I would buy something and it wouldn't fit in that part, but I would always think, well, I'm going to get those out, so I'm going to still have it. Like when I had ordered these little bralettes and I thought they were so cute, and when I had the other chest, there's like falling out of them, not cute at all, not comfortable. And but I was like, I'm keeping them because I'm gonna get those things out. And and that is like when you're going towards what it is you want, even if it makes no sense, you take action towards it, But I also I just knew in my heart, like no matter what, I'm getting these out. No matter, at some point, somehow, these are going to be out of me. And even though there was a period of time where I thought it was going to be from the med beds, I thought it was going to be the med beds take everything out of us that's, poisonous or something. And so anyways, but that is, where like Abraham Hicks or something, the way she talked, the way I take it is like the manifesting they teach is more like just come up with a plan and then just convince yourself that it's true, and then you will make it happen. And that's not how I see it at all. I see it as my guides show me, direct me in a certain direction. And then, yeah, I believe it. Like, I do believe it because it is like I see it, I'm showing it. And so I go towards it. And when you're going towards something that only you see, only you have a vision for, because it's inside of you, and it won't make sense to the people around you. Like, to me, to be saving like bralettes and stuff, my kids would have been like, "Oh my God, mom, if you ever get them out, you could just get some then. Why do you need these? Why would you save those? That's just stupid." Like, that would be other people's theories, like, that makes no sense. That's why you don't have to go tell everybody what you do, because it's not going to make sense to other people. And but that is a part of this awakening, is this learning to have compassion and empathy and not be judgmental, and let people fucking save their bralettes if they want to save them, or whatever, dresses or whatever. Because I have this dress that I had saved for years, and again fits, but I need to lengthen this thing, because my body is still like longer, like, I swear to God, I think it was my struggle all the way back when my mom very first started taking me to the store to buy clothes. Because before that, she sewed our clothes. And then you got to be like a teenager or something. And, oh, well, we'll take you down to the Kmart or the Montgomery Wards. Back then it was Kmart, Montgomery Wards, and Sears. And you go to the store to look for school clothes. And it wasn't like, back then the trends, like, most people wore Levi's. Some of the people who wore Wranglers, the guys that wore Wranglers, you always looked at them kind of more as they were like kind of cowboyish. Most people wore Levi's. It wasn't like a zillion choices like nowadays. And then the girls, it was a big popular thing back then for overalls. And they would go and get men's overalls, and like men's work overalls, but they were just like jeans overalls, like. And when I tried to go get them, everything was like, wouldn't fit me. It was too short and stuff. I was like, it was silly. And in sleeves too, I still have that problem. My sleeves and stuff. Sleeves are always too short. Like, if you have long limbs, you got. I totally see the purpose of having our clothes made for us and not trying to go in. It's so frustrating, and it's still frustrating. Like, I can't believe how hard it is to find clothes that are, I don't know, more narrow and longer. And so, anyways, at some point, I am just gonna. I've made a lot of stuff, and I've sewed my own kind of alterations and stuff. But I still see the purpose of just going and having like a seamstress make clothes or something. I don't know. I think that's the direction we're going to go. I think it's so wasteful, too. How many clothes just get thrown away? Everything is about just to try and get us to buy a bunch of clothes. And there's something about this Temu thing. Like, I don't know. It must be some popular online thing. But a lot of people buy stuff from Temu. Same with IKEA. But I saw somebody showing the Temu factory or something. It was little fucking kids. Little kids. Like, and then plus, when you're older, you also can remember when they took the industry and moved it, and that whole fucking the shenanigans. It was such bullshit. And I could fucking hear it so loud and clear inside of myself. But you can't tell people shit. That's the thing, too. It's like, it's so crazy. Like, when you're trying to tell people stuff, and like now everybody's like got their ears open and listening to little kids and stuff. Back then it was like, no, and you tried to say something that was off script. It was like, no, kid, don't you see what it says here? Listen to what it says. It's like, yeah, but that's not right. I was like, okay, weirdo. So now it's like, oh, wait, we're going off script. Hey, listen to all these kids. They've got all the down. And then it's like, well, I don't know. It's frustrating. But the let me think where I was. Um, oh, there was another, okay, I finished with that one girl because she was, the other one, oh yeah, because the divine masculine, divine feminine, it's all about getting this balance inside of yourself. Or you've got to learn, to be vulnerable at different times, to trust things. Like one thing when you get, as a woman, if you get too much in your masculine, you can kind of become like a control freak. And I don't know, men have different personalities and stuff. So I don't know, when they're in their masculine, they're just regular. They get too out of their masculine and get too much in their feminine, they get stomped all over, walked all over. They're carrying too much about other people's feelings. That is like you get out of balance. But that's like when it gets out of balance in the other way. That's why it gets terms like narcissist and victim and stuff. But we all have to find our balance. We all have to get our own balance. Man, there's so many people like, oh God, asking, please, somebody rescue me, help me, save me. And things are so out of balance in our society. But everybody's got to find their own balance. Everybody's got to pull themselves into center. And it's good when you can recognize, like, it was good. She could recognize, like, fuck, I'm way out of balance. How am I ever going to get in a relationship? And some people can be like, well, who cares? I'm fine with that one. I don't want to ever get hurt again anyways. And she said that. Like, I didn't ever want to go through heartache again. And so she decided she didn't want to be in a relationship that could take from her, or, she could. But then it's like you're missing out on all of that love and fun and excitement because maybe you might get hurt. Like, I don't know. I think different than that. I think about all of the excitement and stuff. Like, hurt is inevitable. Like, it's a part of the game. And so, is what you do with the hurt and the pain, really. So anyways, but everybody's got to find their place to self, to balance, to find, and everybody has, like, I think everybody has like a counterpart, a counter to you. So once you get into balance, it's like another you steps in. I swear that's what it seems like. It's like you have to learn to love yourself before the other you can step in. Because if the other you stepped in, you would be judging them all the time. Oh my God, they're so weird. Oh my God, they're so weird. Because it's how you feel about yourself. But once you come into feeling good about yourself, then the other you can step in that create this new experience and balancing. And so the counter, but see, you got to find whatever the balance is, you got to get to a certain point because everything has like these gears in life. So you don't know what gear, at what point this counter, steps forward or comes in or something. So it's not like I could say, oh, well, she's got years to go. Oh my God. I mean, she could be right there. Like this guy could walk into her fucking restaurant and then she's got these challenges of learning how to trust, to not feel like she has to be in control all the time, to be able to sit back and just enjoy the ride sometimes. And, you get too much into your masculine, you're just like, oh, work, no, work, get it done. And how is that a good way to live? Like, it's out of balance. There's got to be a counter to that. There's got to be a softness. There's got to be a down. What goes up must come down. So you can't just drive. You got to relax and let it, go on autopilot for a little while. And, be with somebody that you trust. Like I had said before, you can't if you're with somebody who you think they're lucky to be with you, it's time to reevaluate life. It's when you can be with somebody that you're like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. Like, fuck. And I can sit here and relax and trust them. Like, I know that they're not going to fuck me over. And that is where you reach this point in your healing. And in your healing journey, you're healing the vibration. You get yourself to this certain vibration. When you get to that vibration, different things affect you. But I think there's still learning to go on. Like, okay, if she just having the awareness that, you know, that she's deep in her masculine and she feels more like she needs to boss men around than to sit back and relax, then, you know, she would have those challenges, those triggers would come up. But having the awareness of what her weakness is should help when the triggers come up. So you re-identify and you get with the program and you see like, oh, okay, so this is triggering me to want to go in and fix it. And what I want to do is learn how to, I don't have to fix everything. Sometimes things can just fall down and, you know, let's see who picks them up. You know, it's not up to me to hold the world together. I'm not the glue master of the world. You know, I'm just along for the ride. And so being able to pull yourself back out of that control mechanism, the automatic response, you know, that's when you go onto autopilot, is like you just automatically go into these programs that you start running, these roles that you've developed into. But they're the roles that your soul came to break free from. That's why that they're there. That's why these triggers come in. That's why these realizations. It's not so you're just like, okay, well, now I know I'm stuck. Like I just saw this lady. She was like, what was her diagnosis before? She was diagnosed with something. I don't remember what it was. Depression or something. No, was it? Maybe it was attention deficit. Maybe she said I think it was. I think she got diagnosed with attention deficit or something. They always like to fucking wave their fucking diagnosis in your face. You don't need lube. Here you go. Like, God, these people are so fucked. And so, you know, she struggled with that diagnosis. But now they've switched it up, and now she's been diagnosed as borderline. Oh, and she was going through some of her issues. Like, she has troubles with alcohol, like goes to jail. Like, she's like, life has been screaming at you. Like, when first time you went to jail, life was already telling you, you got the signs. I'm going in the wrong direction. Is this where I want to go? Keep going in that direction. Let's see what happens. Like, no, it's when the signs start showing you, that's when you're like, fuck. But that is where, you know, rock bottom is different for everybody. Some people, you know, keep on going in the wrong direction for a long, long while. And the lessons are there. You know, why was I going in the wrong direction? What was wrong with me? Why was I, you know, and she was into addiction and stuff. Like, she had some serious problems. She had a serious drinking problem and stuff. And then she got diagnosed with borderline. And now she said she's going to take people on this journey. She's like so worried. She just doesn't even know what she's going to do. She's so scared. She's so scared of being borderline. It's like, chick, you already who you were. They're just throwing on a label on you. They're just throwing something at you and you let it stick. Don't surrender to the fucking labels and diagnoses. Notice your patterns. Notice your behaviors. Catch on to yourself. And then be open to change. Like, start catching yourself like, oh, see, I'm doing it right here. Fuck, I feel like I gotta go control shit. So what do I want to do? I want to be not so controlling. I don't want to be so deep, like, I gotta fix it. I gotta have, you know, it's all up to me. I'll save the world. You know, I'll be able to sit back and be like, okay. And you know, the universe, it will be in favor. They will let you work up to it. It will start out small. It'll be a little thing. I'll be like, oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't have to do a thing. It all worked out. So cool. Now I can just, but there'll be another thing. And they will work up and work up and work up. Believe me, I'm telling you. Like, that boundary lessons thing, that was a kick-ass killer. And I still swear to God, I'm still on the lesson thing. I still got the queen over here who bosses me around like a motherfucker. So that is still, you know, a part of my thing. I can't sit here and say, well, gosh, she said, you know, no, it's me. Everything, you got to always look at it. It's you. It's not them, that, this, you know, it's you. And the things that are happening that affect you are there so that you can find yourself, so you can see yourself, so you can understand yourself. So many people are so blind to themselves because they're so busy, especially when they create all these dramas. Like the Kardashian stuff like this is, I mean, it's so absurd. And then to put their kid up there, like, and she doesn't even have any fucking training and stuff, and she's wearing her own pajamas. It's like, and now you got all these fucking people sharing videos of all of these kids out doing the show. in other places, doing their audition tapes and stuff, seem really talented kids. And it just makes it that much more, absurd and incredible. And that this one, I do totally just see it as like Kim knew going into this how, that if people started attacking her child, it was going to be on a huge scale. And so I don't know. I mean, everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. I don't know. All this soul group is, they've got their own lessons and stuff. So even though Northwest is a kid, the soul group that she's in is a pretty intense one. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of public shaming. There's a lot of the fall of an empire going on. And so, and maybe, I mean, people keep saying, what a sweet kid she is and stuff. Maybe she's the one that's going to help them see the light to get out of their hole, and they're going to, get their shit together. I don't know. I think a lot of them are clones anyways. Like, I don't know. And does a clone really, is your conscious? I just don't know. Like, the whole thing is so weird. The way that they now, just, we're going to cut off heads and move your consciousness that way, which your consciousness, God, I don't know. Like, your consciousness could get attached to a fucking purse that you loved, and then, anybody, you need that purse, like, you die, like all these people dying and their pets just go to the fucking thrift store. I can't believe how many people are just dropping off loved ones' pets like this. It's like nobody will take responsibility for this person's pet. Like, fuck. But the like if somebody goes and to a thrift store and all your belongings have been given to thrift stores or whatever, like people go to all these estate sales and stuff, and it's something, your energy is on that stuff. Like, there's parts of you that you leave. That is like that one, what is that lady's name? She's Eastern, some more Eastern, not religion, but Eastern philosophy, and like feng shui and stuff like that, like tai chi, stuff like that. And so she said, before you give your clothes to the thrift store or something, you need to have like a ceremony saying goodbye, separate yourself from the clothes, separate yourself from the energy, or there keeps being a draw. But anybody else can go and get those and feel that draw. It's like I was saying, like, even with people's wigs and stuff, like how many people go get these wigs and then they put them on and it's like their personality kind of changes. Is it changing because they look at themselves in the wig and see themselves, or is there an energy that goes with this hair? Like, I think there's more to some of this stuff. But anyways, it's all in how you perceive. Don't perceive just the way somebody else tells you. You got to perceive the way you think. Like, here's a whole bunch of stuff about that, because I've seen that since the start of it too. Is like I went and tell somebody, like, when all that stuff, I wouldn't go sit there and tell somebody like, well, you're gonna die, you gotta die, blah, you're gonna die, because then you put that into somebody's head, and then if it's not in their head, this is what has always got me, how they made us sick without putting it in our heads, but I didn't realize how much they were putting into our heads. But so it's like you have to believe something. The more you can pull free from their programming and see yourself through your own eyes, just like that whole thing with the wide shoulders or something, the linebacker shoulder thing with that girl. If she stops focusing, like, for one thing, if she stopped focusing on her shoulders, just say, for instance, and she started focusing, like, maybe she likes her butt, maybe she has a round butt and she really likes it, and what comes with a big round butt is her wide shoulders or something. And so, body shapes kind of have a way that they balance each other. And so instead, focus on the thing you like focus on, well, at least I have a really cute butt. Stop focusing on the thing you don't like. And because that is where you're comparing yourself. And believe you me, that your shoulders will go with the rest of you. Like, you don't want to change them out and then have somebody else's shoulders, because then your butt won't match. Like, that is what I found with my body. It's like, yeah, you go try and, Mr. Potato Head, put some other part on, but then it just makes everything else look out of balance. Like, doesn't match, doesn't go on me. And it would have been different, if the guy would have really just put in small ones like I asked, and I would have went with a B, because my body did go to a B when I was nursing. So it would have been fine. I would have not looked so strange. But yeah, go up fucking 4 sizes to double D. It was absurd. And my body didn't have the balance. There was no counterbalance. Like, it just didn't look right. So you go, if there's something you're focused on, and it's weird too, because I wouldn't even know. I have one daughter who's told me so many times. And then my last husband, he told me about a zillion times. But she would tell me, those things just don't match your body, Mom. They don't fit your body. Like, but she would be more like, why'd you ever do that? But she was there, like, she remembers, because, she was there when the doctor told me, when I went in and showed. And now I look at it as like, man, I should just given it more time. But I was caught up in the insecurity, and I was going into this new position. I'm going to be a nurse. I have these other ones. And then this one, a couple of my friends, I don't know what it is. I really don't know if it is just some girls, are they just cannot stand flat-chested girls? It's just like, well, she's got to have some boobs, or she's just not part of the theme. We just got to get her some boobs. Or is it like, like, I don't know. There's some, I don't know. But there's definitely, my body has been a topic of conversations and more, so many times. And it just is weird, because so many people talk about that now. And so many people are like, well, what I look like, that should never be a subject of conversation. Well, for fucking decades, it has been, it creates insecurities, believe you me. Like, when you have people telling you, oh, well, that looks horrible. Oh, yeah. So, I'm not going to, get mad at myself because I was insecure. I'm just going to realize, and look and see. And then also see, like, I could have focused on other things, but I was just so focused on that, it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And so when you focus on an insecurity, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you let it go, it just shrinks. It becomes smaller. Pretty soon, you realize, like, look, I think I was making my shoulders bigger in my mind than they really are. My shoulders were just getting wider, and I was thinking they were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but it was all up in here. And when you stop and you let go of it, then they just kind of go back to normal. And then it's like, oh, well, they do fit my body. And, and there's certain things that in life, you're there to accept parts of your body. Like, if you are unhappy with your weight, you can change your weight. If you're unhappy with your height, the length of your legs, the size of how wide your shoulders are, how, deep your chest is, or how much your butt sticks out, how much your stomach sticks out, there's certain things that are just your body structure. Like the size of your nose, the size of your ears, where they fit, how they fit, do they, all that stuff. And there's so much of that is just you learning to accept it, to just not focus on it, to not keep thinking that that is all you are. Because then you're minimizing yourself down to something like that. Like, you're way more than the size of your shoulders. There's way more to you. And so it really has nothing really about you. What the fuck does your shoulders have to do with anything? And, or anything. What the fuck does your butt have to do with anything? Or your boobs, or any of this stuff? What does it have to do with who you are on the inside? What you look like on the outside has nothing to do with what you are on the inside. And those are big lessons. Because there's so many people who were like, well, if somebody looks good, well, they must be a good person. And that's just not true. And there's so many people who, there's so much about looks that just don't matter. And it just puts a lot of pressure on people. And it's a way to get people to chase something, you know. So everybody's running in and getting plastic surgery and getting all these creams and stuff. Like that is such a push. Was Crystal was just talking about her son's girlfriend who's in her 20s going and getting all these and I've seen that before too. All of these doctors talking about these young people coming in and getting these because they're so scared of aging. They think this is going to stop them from aging. And what's so weird is this the whole thing with aging. It's so much nonsense and so much manipulation. And so then they get these kids going in to fight this thing that isn't even real with the kids. If they don't want to fucking age, go get some goddamn copper cups, get your minerals. Don't go out and party and drink a bunch of alcohol and don't take care of yourself. Eat right, you know, if you don't want to age. And then, oh yeah, and this other girl too that I just saw. And she was talking about her life has become so routine. And she had left everything, got this tiny house because she wanted to start living her life different. And she said it's just so routine now. And while she was talking about her routine, she was going through this long, exaggerated exercise thing that she does. Like fucking an hour on the treadmill, then weights, all this stuff. I'm telling you, I'm not going to stand up here and start, you know, look at me. But I'm telling you, you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. I think it is a part of this determination. It's like kicking your own ass, man. It's like a beat down on yourself. Like there's more to it that you got to question yourself. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I being so hard on myself? Because I'm telling you, just having movement, just do things throughout the day. I heard this a long time ago, and I think it's so true. Like, if you are more sedentary, like, even if you're working in an office and you're more sedentary, throughout the day, get up and do things several times to raise your heartbeat, you know? Like, get up from your desk, jog for 5 minutes, do some jumping jacks, you know, bring a couple of little weights to work, get up and do like some weights, you know, 5-10 minutes, 5-10 minutes throughout the day. You don't have to go in and just kick your own ass. If you want to do a routine like that, you know, you can. I'm just saying you don't have to. You can just make sure that you keep movement as a part of your routine throughout the day. Like I used to do the same thing, go to the gym for an hour and stuff when I was working. Now it's like, no, I'm doing something, I'm passing through the room, or I've been sitting here and I'm going to get up. Then I'm going to get up, get my weights, do a little couple of things. You feel your heart start pounding. You raise your, they call it our metabolism. You raise it back up. You get it, you know, it's like going and stoking the fire a little bit to get your body to be like, okay, let's chug along here. Let's go. Because when you're not using any, it kind of goes into a dormant kind of state or something. So if you get up and you do things throughout the day, I don't know, there's probably people who go kick their ass in the morning. And then once that's worn down, their metabolism starts slowing down. It's probably not that healthy the way that they have us, you know, the way that they got us to do that. I think it's more healthy to, throughout the day, to just do little bits here and there. Like, I don't know. You just have to find it for yourself. But definitely, if you're put off from taking care of yourself because you think, well, I don't have time to get to the fucking gym every day and go work out, and that's going to take me 2 hours once I get there, and then I have to take a shower, you know, and people, you know, it's like, it's a lot. But that's why you don't have to. Like, the gym's way too far. And I'm not going to go pay and be in a gym again. So, and it was during quarantine, you know, where I just started, where my living room felt like a cell. And I was thinking, well, what do the guys do in cells? Well, like when they're trapped in those cells, they just get down and do push-ups and shit. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to do that. And then you start seeing, like, you don't need a big space. You just need a little thing. And you just need a routine. Like, you can lose weight by doing a 15-minute routine every day, just every morning when you get up, you know. Some push-ups, some sit-ups, some whatever it is that your routine, whatever it is you're trying to work on. If you need more upper strength, you need more lower strength, you know, whatever you do, for that 15 minutes. And then I'm telling you, like later on in the day, your body's gonna be like, let's do another 15. Let's, those muscles are like, oh, I feel good. It felt good. And so your muscles are like craving these. And then a lot to me too is the stretching, doing yoga stretches, doing balancing. And so you don't have to every single thing, but having some little weights or having a little stretch band or whatever it is that you like to do, having it conveniently around. Just like if you want to drink more water, keep water next to you. Keep a big glass of water. And if you're going to do the copper water, you make sure in your copper vessel you just use water. And then whatever you pour it into, you got to pour it into, like I pour mine into a stainless steel cup, but you can also pour it in glass, but you don't want to pour it into plastic. And keep your glass of water next to you all the time. You'll drink more water because then when you get parched, like now, you just grab it and take a little sip. And then pretty soon those little sips add up. And then you're having to refill your cup. So you drink more water when you keep it sitting around you. So, and you'll notice that, if you are sitting around like me, okay, girl. And you get up to go cook, or you get up to go to the bathroom or whatever, and your weights are sitting right there. It's easy to stop and like do a couple little things and stuff. And anyways, let me think. Seemed like there was another thing I was gonna say. I feel like I've cut off on a couple of things and didn't complete it. So let me think real quick. Oh, I have been talking over an hour. Okay, so I've got to go make her some food. But let me think. So we're still in this moral dilemma. What's going on? Oh yeah, this video where I had seen one, I think yesterday or the day before, and it was somebody talking about this new list that's coming out, and I'm gonna spell it. I'm not gonna say it because they'll start hitting, like they look for certain words. So it's spelled RAINS. And I would imagine it's probably all over Twitter and stuff. I've seen a couple of videos on TikTok. And so this first one I had seen was a guy saying this new list is coming out. This has got all these people who are involved in the satanic ritual, all this kind of stuff. Like it's all these people. So you think, okay, it's just another one of these, like, fly list, this person, this person, this person, which, some of those people could have just been on the plane going to a party and not been involved in some of this stuff. I don't know why everybody thinks every single person who ever landed there, touched down, was involved. Even the girls who have been called into court said, that not everybody, it was certain people, certain parties and stuff. But anyways, but another thing what I have said is that we're going to find out there's going to be arrests in fucking communities. There's going to be people going down in communities, people who think like, oh, they're so successful, and then people are going to find out how they made their money. And so there's going to be a lot of like everybody's waiting for, the big, all these big names to go down. It's like, it's going to be a lot of people in the neighborhood, like the people who are doing this stuff. It wasn't just this one group. Like, what the fuck? And, because every fucking town, every fucking township, every little fucking nook and cranny, like even when they were developing in the colonization, the settlers and stuff, the way they developed the towns and stuff, it was all structured. And so all these people were put into places, and then there was always this funneling system to bring more of them in. And so anyways, the new video I just saw on this list was a guy, and he's, I think he must be in Ireland or something. And so he was reading the names off this list and giving their addresses. Shit is about fucking, oh my God. And these were just like Bob and Sue Smith down there on 17 and 7 Crown Street. Yeah, them, their son. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, I don't know what this list is, but, good to have the people in your neighborhood. Like, this stuff is going to get wild. Especially if you don't have any understanding of how deep this stuff was. Like, people in your city council people around, people that you went and talked to at church. Uh, they've done things. The dark energy has had a hold on a lot of people. And a lot of people, what's just so wild about it is the dark energy had a hold of so many people because they couldn't see the light. They didn't know that there was any light. They thought that they were just living the way they were supposed to live. But then this is why all this awakening is going to happen, because the light's going to come on so you can reevaluate. Just like all this reevaluation of like, you know, what do you think? The rich people have the right to just come in and pay to get their kid inside of a play where it was supposed to be that the producers and the director and stuff wanted to get a no-name kid to elevate him. They wanted to find and make a star. And so then, the Nepo baby just steps in, who, I mean, everybody, I think it's pretty clear. Nobody thinks like she's got singing talent. And if she does, it's like, go get her some goddamn lessons. Don't just stick her up there, just because her dad's Kanye, automatically you think she's going to be able to sing. I don't know. Does that guy even sing or does he rap? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't even know that much about him. That's why it's like, I don't know that much about this hip hop culture thing as it's falling apart. And there's just, everything is going to keep falling apart. The medical, the government, the clothes, the food, everything, because all of it, was built so corrupt, just like what I was saying when they moved the industry over, that like everything used to be made in America. Like we used to have people, like that's what they did. They went to their jobs in manufacturing, and women would sit there and sew and get paid. And I mean, it was a good job. And it wasn't, somebody standing over you with a, telling you better finish 500 of them in the next hour. And I don't know if it was becoming more intense, but that's like when the labor unions and stuff would step up and they started having more rights and stuff. Well, then, however it went down, they said all these companies were moving to outside of our country because they could get cheaper labor. Well, I don't know how you could be a citizen in this country. I was a fucking kid and I was like, what? That's not good. Like, where's our jobs? And, what are we supposed to be doing? And why would you, like, you're going to go pay someone cheaper? Like, the whole thing was such a scam. And so, anyways, but that's why jobs are going to be moving back here. But then there's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to go to AI and stuff. People are going to go way more into this living their lives than just working them away. So, and that's why I say, develop your own skills, something that you're good at, something you can market about yourself. And, through all this stuff, you got to keep on working on your balance too. And anytime that you can recognize, remember, that's what you're doing. You're recognizing your holes, you're recognizing your patterns, you're recognizing the things you want to change. And so changing them is just like, it's like changing a habit. It's like, well, I want to do this, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit here and pushing yourself and not just doing what's comfortable, not just doing what is automatic, and trying to learn new behaviors, new ways of doing things, different adaptions. It's up to you. That's you. You have all of this opportunity and these chances to do that. So take advantage of them. They're everywhere and everything out there. Don't get caught up in all the drama, like is that people get so caught up in all the drama. I say just notice it. Just be, like, I think this about this. Like, to me, they're putting her into a stage production. Like, this is a talent stage production. This isn't like just going and singing the national anthem at a baseball game. And, this is, you're taking the part away from other people who could have done it better. And you are, I don't know if she got paid or just paid her way. Like, I'm not sure. But anyways, it's just to set your own moral compass, to just be like, well, I think this, but I think that, and I think a little of this, and I think a little of that. I mean, all of us are not going to be all exactly in alignment. We're not meant to just be, hung up on a clothing line. We're meant to, self-identify, like how we feel about things, what we think about things. And it's not meant to just be like, well, the book said. The book told me not to kill anybody today, so I'm not going to. But, You gotta feel this stuff. You gotta feel this stuff and develop yourself. That's what I gotta say about it. And you gotta remember to love yourself and to love everyone and have a loving day. And I'll talk to you later.